Down, 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 down. Are you
Hello and welcome to Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Juli. You would normally see my good friend and co-host Shalie Lipp seated next to me. However, tonight we're doing things a little bit differently. As you've probably heard, Rollie and his family suffered the unimaginable on May 7th when Rollie's 21-year-old daughter Shalie tragically passed away. In an effort to show our support to the Lipp family, this broadcast of Off the Cuff is a tribute to Shalie Lipp. We're situated on the shores of Lake Breckenridge in Tom Rickles Park, where the Cherish the Child Memorial Garden and Walkway is located. I knew doing this broadcast is going to be a challenge and emotional, so I ask that you bear with me. I cry very easy, and I'm an ugly crier to top it all off. So I've called in some reinforcements. I've asked award-winning sports writer Robert Wanick from the Wahpeton Daily News to join me. Robert knows the Lipp family very well. Before Robert joins us, I'd like to show you this video of Shalie. It's courtesy of Caliber Media Group. When we come back, Robert Wanick will join us. It's a tribute to Shalie Lipp on the Three Borders Sports Network.
I'll be sipping my ties, looking back at my life, remembering the highlights, thinking how the time flies. I'll be watching sunsets, and I won't have one regret. It's hard to see it at the moment, but in the end I know that I'll be sipping
my ties, sipping in the middle of the afternoon. Daydream drinking, baby, here's to you. Looks like we made it and we ain't even through. We fall. I'll be sipping red wine, looking back on my life, remembering the stage fright, the butterflies at night. I'll be sipping
la 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 la.
I'll be sipping
la 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 la.
Welcome back to Off the Cuff, a tribute to Shalie Lipp. The video just watched again is courtesy of Caliber Media Group. Joining me as our guest host tonight is Robert Wanick. Robert, I appreciate you joining us. I couldn't have picked anyone better for guest hosting with me.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, especially for a segment as cool and as worthy as this one.
You're a longtime family friend of the Lipp family, and you have a long-standing history as a friend with Rollie. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so as you know, the Lipps are truly salt-of-the-earth people. I grew up playing basketball with Steven until he got to be about 12, 13, and he started really taking it to all of us adults at the courts. And then just kind of transitioned into covering Shalie's gymnastics career here in town, and then eventually her foray into mixed martial arts.
So covering mixed martial arts must have been something new for you as a sports reporter.
Yeah, it was completely new. As you know, mixed martial arts is not really a big thing in this area, and women's mixed martial arts is even rarer territory. So it was very cool for me to have that opportunity. Yeah.
So tell me about Shalie's first fight. Was that the one in Alexandria?
I believe the first fight was in Fargo at Captain's Fight Club.
Yep, that's right.
So yeah, she had drew an opponent named Annabelle Kelly, and that girl had come out of Las Vegas, I believe, training out of Syndicate, which kind of the hub for mixed martial arts, and she had some experience under her belt, and nobody really knew what to expect going into that first fight.
I remember Rollie telling me that Shalie's gotten into mixed martial arts, and he was really uncomfortable with it. In fact, he didn't even want to go to her first fight because he had a hard time knowing his little girl was going to be in that ring with someone else that's very, very tough, and he just was not comfortable with it. But it was interesting to watch as Shalie's ability in the art grew, so did Rollie's confidence in her ability to take on an opponent in the ring, and his confidence grew with Shalie's, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of immediately blown away by her ability. You know, she basically gave up a track and field career, Division One track and field career, had the confidence in herself to become a fighter. And it was immediately evident that she belonged.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that for our viewers that aren't familiar with Shalie's track career. She was a phenomenal track athlete, and then got a Division One scholarship to compete in, was it Delaware? And just, was there for a year, decided she wanted to come back, and then she wanted to compete at NDSU.
Yeah, and then I believe that COVID put a hold on most Division One sports that season, and it seemed like she was just kind of a gym rat, and she couldn't stay out of the gym, and that's when she fell in love with the technical aspect of the fighting. Well,
and even looking at the events that Shalie competed in track, not traditional events, pole vault, high jump, and she was very good. Shalie got her jumping ability from her mom, Jen. Jen was a high jumper in college, competed at the national track meet in Odessa, Texas, and I always give Rollie a hard time that Shalie's jumping ability came from Jen and not the Lipp side. But although, as you know, the Lipp family is equally athletic.
Yeah, certainly big shoes to fill. Sydney was a Division II volleyball star, and then Steven was a multi-sport athlete, and Rollie could shoot the rock back in the day too.
Yep. And I just loved that Shalie liked to blaze her own trail, just even in the events that she chose to compete in, gymnastics, track, and then of course now the mixed martial arts. And so let's talk a little bit about how Shalie competed in mixed martial arts. You wrote about the Lipp lifestyle. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, just most of the things that she accentuated, in her day-to-day, is what the great athletes exhibit. We just touched on the unwavering belief in yourself. Rules are meant to be broken, but number one rule is you always have to believe in yourself. So, jumping into a deep pool like that of mixed martial arts shows a serious belief in herself. And she always talked about being grateful for even the losses, the wins and the losses, just having that attitude of gratitude. And another thing that she really seemed to set a great example for is really challenging herself, not taking the easy route. She fought some very seasoned opponents, which is one of the reasons why she had a 3-2 record. Nothing that she set out to do was easy in the sport, and I think that sets a example for everybody to kind of try to live that kind of lifestyle.
Who are some of the opponents that she competed against?
So the big rising opponent now that she competed against, her name is Che Bowers. She's a Sioux Falls, South Dakota product. They actually became friends and training partners, and she would come to Fargo, and Shalie would go to Sioux Falls, and they'd spend time together. And she recently turned pro. Bowers did, and I know that she has posted and made several remarks that she one day was going to make it to the UFC, and she's going to honor Shalie in her first fight. So.
Speaking of going pro, you played a pivotal role in getting Shalie some of the recognition from the sport itself. Dana White, I know you were pivotal in getting Dana to recognize Shalie and all of her efforts. And how did you go about that?
So it was actually the funeral home who did a fantastic job with Shalie's celebration of life, by the way. It was actually the funeral home that reached out to me and asked if I could potentially get in contact with Dana. I started off by contacting John Jones, you name it, the top fighters. And then I thought, what about the two MMA fighters from Colorado, Lauren Murphy and Miranda Maverick, that Shalie trained with? I messaged them, and it's such a tight-knit MMA community. They made a few phone calls, and next thing you know, Dana White was getting a hold of the family. Well,
and I know both Rollie and Jen found a lot of comfort in the words that Dana White had about Shalie, and I know they were very appreciative of everything that Dana did. In fact, the flowers at Shalie's funeral, just a huge display of beautiful white flowers that said Shalie Lipp on it. And one of the things that, going back to the Lipp lifestyle items that Shalie lived by, she was trying to, I'm not sure of the word, but make her future true by writing it down in her journal. And at the end of her journal entries, she would put Dana White will know my name. And that's how it all started, is that she was just writing down her future.
Yeah, it's a great example of a goal accomplished is a goal accomplished, and she had been manifesting this for,
That's the word.
her entire career, dating back to being a middle school athlete and prodigy, and the fact that it came to fruition is more of a testament to her accomplishments in life rather than in death.
You did a beautiful eulogy for Shalie's funeral. Where did that come from?
Just the inspiration that she provided every day, through kindness, through dedication, through setting gigantic goals, that we can admire. When you see somebody set out to do something that's seemingly impossible, or that's just something that we admire, and she seemed to a lot of people, and I know myself, she really seemed larger than life as far as the athletes that we've seen in the history of our area.
You knew Shalie as the athlete and competitor, and I knew Shalie as the little girl. When Rollie and I first started working together, when we did a morning show, he had a picture of Shalie on his bulletin board, and she was just a little pipsqueak. I'm thinking she was 4 or 5, and the pride that he had in his little girl was just, well, like any father has for his daughter. And some of the things that Rollie loved to do with Shalie in the summertime was take her on a trip. He loved every summer, he'd either take her to Medora or to the Twin Cities, to the Mall of America. And like what happens to a lot of people after you take your kids on a family trip, you come back a little frazzled. But I know, like I and every other parent in the world, but I know he appreciated and looked forward to every one of those trips. And Medora was one of his favorites. They go to the musical, of course, to the pitchfork fondue, and Shalie loved it too. She looked forward to that every single summer. And I just love the pictures that Rollie has shared with me of him and Shalie, and Jen and Shalie. And Shalie was also very close to her grandma Joanne, Rollie's mom. And I know Rollie is very appreciative of the pictures too that they've had. And every time he went on vacation, I told him, I said, make sure to take pictures. And I'm so glad that they did.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we all know it's a life well lived, but also the response from everybody is just a true testament that it's a certain special type of person, and that's stands true.
In all of my conversations with Rollie since the day Shalie passed away, almost every conversation he talked about the fact that it's so surreal that she's gone, but the outpouring of support and the comfort that gave him and his family has been amazing. And he's so incredibly grateful for it. And he was actually a little overwhelmed at first. He just couldn't believe the amount of support that they received. But that's why we live where we live. And the Southern Valley is known for the support that they give during times of tragedy.
Yeah, and for people that did not watch the service, the MMA community that she was a part of in the Fargo-Moorhead area, they came out in large numbers, and their support was certainly did not go unnoticed by our community here in Breckenridge-Wapaton. They trained together. They've been through the ups and downs together. Some of those fighters traveled with Shalie to Thailand. They were in fight camp with her, and just to see it through and to have that strength and to bring that to the celebration of life, so that we could all share that together with that community of fighters. I thought that was very, very special.
You mentioned Shalie in Thailand. She had just recently returned from Thailand before she passed away. What were some of the conversations you had with her about her experience in Thailand?
The biggest thing that stood out about that was when she said, "I'm having the time of my life." And how many of us never really have the time of our life? We put it off because we have this going on or we have that going on. But Shalie never put it off. She made time, and she made it a reality. So that was the thing that stood out most to me. And then the fact that she was immersing herself in the culture over there so much, that was very, very cool to me as well. Yeah,
fearless for sure. She definitely was. Before we wrap things up, I want to talk a little bit about the Cherish the Child event. That is an event that's held every year here at Tom Rickles Park. And there's a bridge near here where the Remembrance Walk takes place. When I was talking with Colette Barton, Grief and Aftercare Coordinator at Joseph Verton and Sons Funeral Home, She said something that really struck me. She talked about how on the one side of the bridge, the waters are raging, and when you look to the other side, the waters are calm. And that's exactly how grief is. That at one moment things seem out of control, and the next moment there's peace. She said that bridge represents our heart, and that it has to find space for both the sorrows and the peace. And you'll hear Colette talk about that at the upcoming Cherish the Child event. That's Thursday the 22nd. There will be a brick placed in memory of Shalie at that event. It starts at 5:30 is registration. The Remembrance Walk starts at 6 o'clock. There will be refreshments and ice cream following the walk. You're asked to bring a chair because there's not a lot of seating here at the park, but everyone is invited. Before we wrap up our tribute to Shalie, I'd like to say thank you to Colette and Joseph Verton and Sons Funeral Home for their assistance in getting the videos for today's show. Also to the Daily News for their coverage of Shalie and the Lipp family, and especially to Robert for joining me. I couldn't think of anyone better to do that. And Rollie, Jen, and the rest of the Lipp family, our deepest condolences from all of us here at Three Borders Sports Network. We're going to close out our tribute to Shalie with a video montage that captures everything that Shalie represented. But before that, I'd like to read a letter from Rollie. On behalf of my family, I wanted to thank the community here in the Southern Red River Valley for the incredible support we received after the untimely passing of my daughter, Shalie. We are going to miss her passion for life and the love and acceptance she showed everyone she met and knew. Shalie has a beautiful soul and is alive in spirit, and we are planning to keep that spirit alive and honoring her life with a nonprofit foundation to promote some of the issues that were dear to her heart. We are so grateful for every kind word, note, or card that we have received and are more meaningful than I can express. With gratitude, Rollie.
If I had only known the last time would be the last time, I would have put off all the things I had to do. I would have stayed a little longer, held on a little tighter. Now what I'd give for one more day with you. 'Cause there's a wound here in my heart where something's missing, and they tell me that it's gonna heal with time. But I know you're in a place where all your wounds have been erased, and knowing yours are healed is healing mine. The only scars in heaven, it won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now. I know the road you walked was anything but easy. You picked up your share of scars along the way. Oh, but now you're standing in the sun. You fought your fight and your race is run. The pain is all a million miles away. The only scars in heaven, it won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven, yeah, are on the hands that hold you now. Hallelujah, There's not a day goes by that I don't see you. You live on in all the better parts of me. Until I'm standing with you in the sun, I'll fight this fight in this race I'll run, until I finally see what you can see. Oh, the only scars in heaven that won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken. All the old will be made new, and the thought that makes me smile now, and even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now.
God promised us is true, so we can cry with hope, we can say goodbye with hope, 'cause we know our goodbye is not the end, oh no, and we can breathe with hope, 'cause we believe with hope there's a place there's a place where we'll see your face again.